basis as well as a virtual basis. And 3, encourage you to take some of your new knowledge and apply it to one of the local campaigns we've introduced tonight, or anyone else, where we can, or certainly we can win, or certainly make it more interesting. Steve Kirschbaum is a Republican political strategist with 20 years experience on congressional, gubernatorial, state, and local campaigns. With nearly 50 special, primary, and general election campaigns under his belt, he has earned an impressive 87% win rate. His goal is to teach conservatives how to win elections. Steve is experienced in marketing, advertising, public relations. He has written print advertisements, radio and television commercials, and short films. He brings a unique blend and balance of old school and new media experience. Let's give a warm Conservative Forum Silicon Valley welcome to Steve Kirschbaum.
Okay, we'll try this. We've got to turn on the machine first. So, we've all been pretty excited the last year and a half, 2 years about what's been happening. Especially as conservatives, we kind of woke up one day and said, holy smokes, the thing is rolling downhill fast and we need to do something about it. This is what you do about it. You know, I've been involved almost since the beginning with the Tea Party in the Pleasanton area, and after the signage, we got to go to work and we got to make some changes. This is how we implement those changes and use the process to our advantage. I did some work early on in the election cycle, actually before the primary, to see what the numbers look like and what we could do about what's going on. Let me get the next slide up. What I found out is it is indeed possible to flip the state if we, I'm make sure I get this going properly first. Oh. Technology. Okay, anyway, we pretty much covered this. I've got 2 organizations. I've got Conservative Strategies, which offers consulting services to candidates on the media and the campaign strategy side. And also I'm putting together boot campaigns, which is more of a training. Basically, it's a not-for-profit training organization, because I think we need training as much as anything else. Candidates can only do so much. You as an individual need to get involved and make things happen. And the rest of the information I think you've seen there already. One thing I wanted to mention, we were talking earlier about, one of the most interesting things I heard about our form of government is we have a republic. That's a system of laws that governs the people. If you want a democracy, form a lynch mob. Okay, this presentation is basically broken down into 3 areas. First of all, the strategy, how we flip the state. The primaries, what basically has come out of the primaries that we just passed in June, and what those numbers mean, and who is still in a position that can win their primaries. And number 2, how we fight this fight ourselves, how we win by getting off the benches and into the game. Now I'm going to stop for questions after each one of these, so if you have a question that pertains to that section of the show, please question specifically to that. We've got a microphone over here. Then general questions we can do at the end. So I'll stop twice, and then after the end we can general questions of interest to you. That way I can keep things current. You'll understand where I'm coming from on these questions, and we'll keep this moving along. Also, we've got some sign-up sheets. And if you want to keep informed on what, I'm going to start sending out emails on what's going on out there and how you can take part in it. Please put your name on a sign-up sheet, and I'll let you know what candidate needs help, how you can help, and if you want to get involved, that's one way you can do it. So the sheets are going to be coming around. Okay, why I'm in this fight? Now, first of all, it's not about me. When I get in campaigning, it's never about me. What it's about is the fact that, I just realized the camera's over there and I'm not facing it, so I'm going to take this off here. That what we're doing here is for our children and our grandchildren, not for ourselves, because we pretty much had our opportunities. We owe them the same opportunities we had, and the way the country is going, they may not have those opportunities, and so we have to start taking steps now to make things a little bit different than they're going. Also, one of the things I've always thought about is nobody took my freedoms from me. What's happening now, nobody took them. I gave them away. I allowed this to happen to myself because I was not engaged, I was not involved, I was not taking part when I should have been taking part and saying, no, that's not where I'm coming from. So I basically grew complacent, and I didn't practice what I call tough gov. I didn't say no when I needed to say no. I let other people make decisions for me that I now having to live with. Also, I didn't hold conservative leadership accountable, and we're running through a real problem right now because I have very many Republicans that are just enthralled with the Republican Party, and that's because we did not take part. And hopefully, from this seminar, you will feel more confident to get involved because that's a political process. Once you know how the process goes together, you can repeat your successes. And I think everybody down here should consider running for office. What are the offices they have within the party? If you want change, you have to get involved. Political strategy. Rule 1, don't bring the Marquis of Queensbury to a street fight. Now, Marquis of Queensbury, remember they used to stand like this? Well, we're in a street fight right now, so we have to lay all those rules aside and we have to fight our opposition the way they fight us. So I call it no more Mr. Nice Conservative. Whatever that mother in your ear is going, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Set that aside for now. We'll pick that up later. Teach the kids, but don't let them see you when you're going after somebody else. Number 2, first of all, we have to focus on fights we can win. And that's why even if that candidate in your district is a wonderful person, you've known his family for years, if they can't win their fight, that's not where you should be spending your time and your energy. You should be spending your time and your energy where you can make a difference right now. Number 2, my goal is to create a virtual organization so everybody in this room on one night of the week can work on one campaign and make a huge difference. I mean, if everybody in this room one night for 1 hour telephone calls to get people out for an election, that's huge. And because everybody in an hour can make 45 calls and say, please go out and vote for us. So that's how big it is. So, and we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. So also we want to win conservative majorities in the state assembly and the state house, and that's how we flip the house and help take control of Congress. So that's what I'm committed to through this election cycle. Then after that election cycle, I'm going to deal with things like the Republican Party and local elections and things like that I can actually have a significant and hopefully profound impact on. Focus on fights you can win. John Dennis is a nice guy. I've met him and I've met his people, but he's not going to cruise past Nancy Pelosi anytime soon. He's down to 71 points, almost 72. However, if you look at Sam Lacey, he's up 16 points. He needs your help to get it passed. These numbers have been basically the number I put there for this number here. That's everybody that didn't vote for Laird. So he's got the numbers, but if you get complacent, these people don't get called, nobody shows up. You've got the teachers' unions and different unions showing up for the opposition, and things don't happen. So you've got to be involved, and you've got to be committed, you've got to turn out. 15, right? Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later because I've got all sorts of things up there. And I wasn't going to respond to calls. I'm sorry. I won't do it again, I promise. Here, why now? Well, we can't change the world if we don't win elections, number 1. So we have to start winning elections. Number 2, there are no small elections. As we've learned of late, elections have consequences. Number 3, winning campaigns is habit forming. You can learn the process. It's a process that can be duplicated. So anything you learn on a campaign this election cycle, you can use it after the first of the year. Again, going back to the party, you can use it for your school board. If you want to run for a tax board or one of the utility boards, you're going to do the same